Hey guys, thanks for joining Off the Stone Sharpening today. So today I wanted to show you how I sharpen a knife. And there are 3 different processes you have to follow to correctly sharpen a knife. So let's just run through those. Alright, let's change this camera angle so we can check this out. Alright, so the first step we need to do is create a burr on the knife. So what we do is we start sharpening on the stone. You can do single strokes or you can go back and forth. And what you're going to do is make sure that you get an even burr all the way across the knife. So an easy way to check for the burr is whatever side is facing you when you're sharpening the knife, that burr is going to go across that side of the knife edge. So what you do is you just run your finger and then that's where your burr will be. So it's easy to remember. Whatever side of the knife is facing you, that's how you'll feel for the burr. So what I would do is I would sharpen this. You can start at the tip like I did, or you can start at the heel, whatever you want to do. What I would do is I would work the whole knife, making sure I hit the heel and the tip as well, because those are the hardest parts to sharpen generally. And once I have a solid burr all the way across this knife edge, then I know to flip the knife over. And what I'm going to do is establish a burr on that side now. You can turn the knife at this point. Make sure you get this heel area. Now, like I said, to feel for the burr, it's going to be the side that's facing. So this side's facing me, so I would feel for the burr on this side. Once you have developed a burr on each side of the knife, you are done with step 1. Now step 2 is to deburr the knife or to weaken the burr. And how to weaken the burr is to just basically do the same type of strokes as you sharpen with, but with light pressure. Now you can do a couple different things. You can go back and forth very lightly and weaken that burr like this, or you can do single strokes. But what you want to do is just use the weight of the knife, okay? You don't want to put you don't want to put any pressure actually. You just want the weight of the knife to do the work, because what that's going to do is make that burr go back and forth so that when you get to the stropping process, which is the 3rd process, then it'll completely take it off. And the importance of taking off the burr can't be overstated for this reason. If you don't take off the burr, what'll happen is you've created this burr, you did the first step great, and the knife is on its way to being sharp. What's going to happen is that lip of steel, when you start cutting stuff, is going to go right on the edge. It's going to roll over right onto the apex of your knife, and it's going to dull it. So who wants to sharpen with, like, let's say this is the steel, this is the burr, and this is my knife edge. Who wants that in the way of when they're cutting something? You don't want a chunk of steel on the edge of your knife. Obviously, it's not going to cut well. So that is why you must get rid of the burr after you create it. So we weaken the burr. The 3rd step is to strop. Now, if you don't have a leather strap, you can strap on the stone that you use to sharpen with. But if you have a strap, you can use that. Or you can do both. So what is a stropping technique on a stone? Well, one thing you can do is start from the tip and then go to the heel, or you can start with the heel and then go to the tip. I'll show you. So when you're strapping, find the same angle you use when sharpening and just go backwards. Okay? Now, there is a little J motion that you'll see sharpeners use when they strap, especially on a leather strap, because you can gouge the leather. That's, of course, if you're starting with the tip. If you start with the tip, it helps to do this little J motion so that you don't dig into your strap or into your stone. You'll have to just kind of get used to it, but if you watch the motion, it's literally a J. So just get used to doing that. It might take some practice, but once you get it, you'll get it. All right, and so if I was to strap on this stone, I might do like 10 strokes on this side. I'm not going to do them all right now, I'm just showing you. So I would do like 10 strokes like that, and then I might do 10 strokes on this side. And then after I did that, I would do 8 strokes on this side. So then I'd go back to this side and do 8 strokes. Then I would do 8 strokes on this side. Obviously, this is really hard to strap on such a tiny stone with a a larger knife, but this is just for demonstration. So after I did 8, I would do 6 on each side, 6 on each side, 4 on each side, 4 on each side, 2 on each side. And once I get to about 2, I generally just go back and forth then. You can just go as many times as you want, but I would just go back and forth until I felt like it was good. And if you want to do a number, you can do 10, 20, back and forth. So like 10 on each side, or 10 alternating strokes, or 20 alternating strokes. But whatever works for you. So that is how you could strap on the stone. You can also strap on the stone and then strap on a leather strap. And what that's going to do is it should make it even better. The one thing about a leather strap is it's going to create an even more smooth edge than what your stone will do. A stone can only take your knife edge so far, but a strap will remove material that stone can't, and it will make for a very smooth cut. Alright, so if you have a leather strap, if you didn't want to strap on the stone, or you just wanted to skip and go to the strap, so you could do 10 strokes on each side of this, and then let's say I did 10, then I could do 10 like this. Or what you could do is just alternate the strokes. And so what you could do is just 1, 1, 1, 1. What you could do is, instead of strapping at the heel, you can go from the tip that way as well. Whatever is most comfortable for you. I could even technically go like that. That's a bit uncomfortable, but I could start at the heel when I have the knife like this. But it's just more comfortable to start at the tip. So once you've alternated several times, some people put a number on it. You really can do whatever you want when it comes to strapping. Just make sure the burr is off the blade. You know, if it's literally 10 strokes on each side, if you just want to alternate the knife 10 times, there was one, just do that 9 more times, and the burr's off your blade, well, that's great. You don't have to worry about it then. But one way to check to see if the burr is still on there is you can run your knife down like when you were feeling for a burr, and if you don't feel anything catching, more than likely you've removed the burr. So that's it. It's really that simple. It's not a hard concept per se, but getting the muscle memory of strapping and sharpening can be a little bit difficult. But this is the process that I use, and if you do this correctly, your knife is going to be very sharp every time. Well, I hope this video helps, and I'll be glad to see you in the next video. Take care.